Okay. Well, sorry to keep everyone waiting. We have been in closed session. I need to, there's nothing to report out of closed session. So I'm going to go ahead and adjourn this, not adjourn, I'm going to start this meeting at 6:04 on May 25th, 2023. Vice Mayor Daniels, would you care to lead us in the flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Thank you, sir. So let's go ahead and can we call the roll, please?
Councilmember Karpinski-Costa.
Present.
Councilmember Lopez-Taff.
Here.
Councilmember Middleton.
Here.
Vice Mayor Daniels.
Here.
And Mayor Schaefer.
Here. Can I have the next item, please?
This meeting of the Citrus Heights City Council is cablecast live on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse cable systems. This meeting is closed captioned and live streamed at citrusheights.net. Tonight's meeting replays on Monday, May 29th at 9 a.m. on Channel 14. This meeting can also be viewed at the city's YouTube channel.
Great. Next item, please.
Next item is approval of agenda.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, motion by Daniels, second by Taff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. And any opposed? Seeing none, motion passes. Next item, please.
Next item is public comment. And if you wish to address the council during the meeting, please fill out a speaker identification sheet and give it to myself, the city clerk. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes each. When your name is called, please step forward to the podium and state your name for the record.
Okay, so we're very honored to have so many very successful young people in our community that we'd like to recognize. So the first thing I'd like to do is call to the podium. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I'd like to call Joseph Miller to the podium, please. And we're recognizing Joseph today because Joseph has achieved a academics scholarship for the Southwest Minnesota University. He's also I understand, a football player.
Yes, sir.
You're going to be a Mustang up there.
Yes, sir.
So we wanted to recognize the hard work that you put in, and we wanted all of your family to enjoy this moment. So with that, and I'm just gonna pop down to the podium and present this this certificate for you, and tell you a great job, job well done. So any other comments from the council?
Are you a Mustang now?
No, not yet.
Spartan?
Yeah, Mustang.
You're a,
Yes, sir.
You're a Mustang, you're going to continue to be a Mustang.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
all right. Well, congratulations. So he goes to Mesa Verde High School. All right, very good.
job.
So let's go ahead. Congratulations, Joseph. Well done. Thank you so much. Very good job. There you go. I'm gonna pose for a picture. There you go.
Yeah, come on in. Come on in. Got a good shot? Okay.
Congratulations. Okay. Okay, next up, let's go to Caroline Lewis. Caroline is is graduating from Mesa Verde High School. She played on the softball team. She's been accepted onto the Folsom Lake softball team, which is, I understand they went to the state championships this year. So we're very excited to have her. Any comments from the council?
So you don't want to continue to be a Mustang?
No.
Congratulations.
And she has, I think you had a grade 3.5 grade point average?
I checked this morning and it was a 4.0.
Oh,
Congratulations.
very good.
Parents or loving adults, feel free to come up in the aisle if you want to get a good shot. You're welcome to.
Nice job. There you have it. All right.
Congratulations. Got it?
Well done. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, so we got a couple Eagle Scouts in the crowd. Next we have, this is quite an achievement. I love the scouting program because especially Eagle Scouts does an incredible job for preparing young men for a good, strong life with some great skills. So can I have Edward Allen Stock? Did I say that right? Stack, okay. Come to the podium. So Edward you've lived in Citrus Heights most of your life, right? All of your life?
All my life, yeah.
Okay. And what schools did you go to?
I went to Mesa Verde High School for my freshman year, and now I'm enrolled in John Adams Academy.
Okay, great. What about grade school and
I went to Andrew Carnegie for middle school, and then Albert Schweitzer for elementary.
oh, great, wonderful. Great to hear. Come down here.
That's a lot of badges.
Oh, yeah.
Did you do an Eagle Scout project, obviously?
Yeah, I did. I built 7 benches at the Coop's Nature Area for veterans.
Nice, thank
Very
you.
nice.
Thank you.
I'm a veteran myself. Thank you so much. Really nice job. One more, okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
May I have David Michael Bell come to the podium? There you are. So, David, why don't you tell us a little bit about what school you went to and how you became involved in scouting?
I went to Coyle Avenue Elementary School, and then I was homeschooled the rest of the years of
Okay,
school and middle school.
wonderful, awesome. So, let's go ahead and
And you did a project?
Yeah, I planted 7 trees at the Carmichael Elks Lodge.
Very nice, thank you.
Right.
Very good.
congratulations, David. Very proud of you. Thank you. Very proud of you to have you part of the community. What's the significance of your teeth there?
Oh, my grandpa made it when he was involved in scouting.
Oh, cool.
Very nice.
Long. There we go.
For public record. Thank you.
Take care now. Thank you. You know, it's really, really great to see young people be so successful for going for the last 3 years of COVID and all the disruption that came from the schooling system. So, well done. I'm really proud of all of you. So, with that, we have some public comments to read.
Yes.
You would read those, please?
Yes, absolutely. So we have 3 written public comments that were submitted. So the first is from Crystal Kwong, And she states, "Hello, I'm hoping the council can help. Several folks have reached out for help previously. I'm sharing an update that in the past 3 months, a dozen pet rabbits were abandoned at Crosswoods Community Park. All of them had zero survival instincts and needed veterinary care. Over the years, many rabbits tried to survive in the park by burrowing under the buildings and around the park. Sadly, there are many folks in the area who believe that this animal abuse is acceptable. For almost 2 years, I have been struggling to get support from the city, Sunrise Park and Parks and Rec, and Sylvan Oaks Library. There are rescues who have tried to help for much longer, but we've all struggled to get support from local agencies. If the council cannot help, could any of you help connect us with officials at the different agencies who manage these properties?" The next public comment is from Christy Venrick Martin, and she states, "The rabbit dumping problem in Citrus Heights has been an ongoing problem for 40 years. Not only does it seem like no one cares about the illegal dumping, but the Parks Department has it listed as an attraction on their Crosswoods Community Park page. In the last 3 months, 12 rabbits were dumped at Crosswoods Community Park, and a local rescue was only able to catch 10 of the 12. This is an issue that needs to be addressed immediately." And the last public comment I have is from Elizabeth Rupert. And they state, "What is the status on having cameras installed at Crosswoods Community Park? Dozens more rabbits have been dumped since we last spoke at the meeting, some in terrible health condition. Luckily, a generous rescue takes them in and cares for their health, but foster homes are running thin. We need to stop who is doing this. I think installing cameras would be helpful. Please have the city reach out directly to Sunrise Recreation to get cameras placed to help control this issue." And that concludes the public comment that I have.
Great. Have the next item, please.
Next item is presentation number 4, a presentation by Republic Services, recognition of 2023 high school scholarship winners.
Good afternoon, City Council, Mayor Schaefer, residents of Citrus Heights. My name is Ray Robinson. I'm from Republic Services. Today we'll be presenting the 3 sustainability scholarships from this year. So first I want to introduce Colleen Cadwallader. She is the Executive Director of San Juan Education.
Thank you, Ray. Mayor Schaefer, esteemed council members, I'm Colleen Cadwallader, the Executive Director of the San Juan Education Foundation. Founded in 1991, our job is to raise funds so that we can support and advance excellent education for every San Juan Unified student. We are fortunate to facilitate 12 different scholarships currently for our San Juan Unified seniors. This year, we'll give out more than $30,000 to 35 deserving San Juan Unified graduates. We're very pleased to facilitate the partnership between the City of Citrus Heights and Republic Services to award these seniors tonight, who are well-deserving of this recognition due to their hard work and their commitment to a sustainable future. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you. A little bit about the scholarship. We do 3 of them, $1,000 each. They are for the graduating seniors from San Juan Unified School District that are residents of Citrus Heights. The winners may be interested in a degree in sustainability or some degree that has to do with environmental services, and there is an essay contest component. First recipient, we would like to welcome Sophia Lane. She is a graduate of Mariloma High School. She plans to attend UC Santa Cruz. One of the interesting things about her is that recently she spent a long time at night with her peers getting ready for the homecoming float. She's hoping that the sustainability scholarship will help her in her endeavors in environmental studies at her university. Hi. And if we could, Mayor Schaefer, would you be able to take a picture with the recipient?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Mayor's going to come right down here for pictures.
You're welcome to. Go right ahead.
if you want. We got 2 more. All right. Next recipient is Kaylee McAllister. Kaylee is coming from Mesa Verde High School. She plans to attend UCLA. She's hoping that the scholarship is going to help her in pursuing her studies in psychology and law, hoping to be an environmental services attorney. And she'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Peoples, her friends and her family for being along with her on this long journey. All right, and our third recipient tonight is Bodie Brasino. He's coming from Bella Vista High School. Bodie plans to go to UC San Diego, and the scholarship will help him further his studies in biology. Growing up on the American River Trail, he really pushed to be able to help the microbiology area in his environment. And after all those runs is all he can see, and now that's what he wants to do. So, all right, Bodie, here you are. Congratulations. All right, those are our 3 recipients tonight for the 2023 Sustainability Scholarship. Thank you again, City Council, Mayor Schaefer, residents of Citrus Heights, San Juan Unified Education Foundation, and everyone else. Thank you very much.
Great job. Thank you. Next item, please.
Next item is comments by council members and regional board updates.
So let's start out with Council Member Middleton, please. Middleton?
I'll make it quick. Nothing to report.
Okay, very good. So let's go to the other side, and Dr. Jana Karpinski-Costa, what have you been up in your busy schedule here?
I'll take portions.
Okay.
Chronologically. We had our Sayonara Center magician came to the Sayonara Center through our neighborhood association, Area 10, and he put on his little magic show, and the kids oohed and ahed, and Glenn was, you might have read about it in the Sentinel, the little visit he had with the kids, and we consider him a gem in our city. I spoke at Area 11 on the mosquitoes. Anybody needs a mosquito talk, I'm available. I went with the city manager to the groundbreaking of the Echo Water Project at Regional San, the sewer treatment facility. And it not just celebrates the completion of the Echo project, which is the filter, tertiary filtration 3 times to remove most of anything in the water that's, he says the water they dump into the Sacramento River is cleaner than the water in the river. But also the kickoff for the Harvest Water Project, which is taking recycled water, the tertiary water, and building a pump system to pump 16,000 farmland acres with our extra recycled water, which will save the underground because the farmers that have been sucking the water out of the ground will then be able to keep our ground storage water more intact. I did go to Brews in the Burbs. I mean, you'll probably report on that. I'm not much of a beer drinker, but I could see where, if you were a beer drinker, how wonderful the different kinds of beers were. I attended my neighborhood meeting. I'm a good girl. And last but not least, I want to report from the mosquitoes. First of all, remind everybody to get their dogs on heartworm prevention. Heartworm is carried by mosquitoes, and this is the time of year that the heartworm mosquito is most active, in the spring. But like I said, it takes months for the disease to develop, so it could be bit today and get the disease in a few months. But we did find 2 dead birds that were positive for West Nile virus. They were 2 little unfortunate scrub jays that were found in the Florin Road area. So that's the beginning, and so here it is May, and that's generally the month we first see dead birds, and that just signals the beginning of the West Nile season. So, you know, you hear about all the 7Ds, and everyone goes, yeah, but, you know, when the West Nile virus comes around, it's a very serious disease. But if you find a dead bird, you're going to love the phone number you call. Well, you can go on to the district website, which is www.fightthebite.net, or you could call, which there's a link there to the state California Public Health Department Dead Bird Hotline, or you could just dial the Dead Bird Hotline, which is 877-WNV for West Nile virus, bird. So WNV bird, 877-WNV bird, or go to fightthebite.net and click, and we'll come and get the bird. Our district comes and gets the bird and does the studies. Let's see, it's Dead Bird Hotline. Oh, and the last announcement is the Santa Monica Pico neighborhood case is going to oral argument on June 27th. That is the case that argues what kind of information you have to provide to divvy up your city into electoral districts. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. It'd be interesting. It's just the arguments, though, so the decision probably won't come for another bunch of years, the way they work. Anyway, that's what I've been doing.
Okay. Councilwoman Jane Taff, what have you been up to?
Similar to Dr. Jana, I've been pretty busy as well. The 16th, I went to my neighborhood association meeting where we hosted Assemblyman Josh Hoover. This is my PSA to you to attend those neighborhood association meetings. They can be great resources if you do nothing else for safety reports and other great guest speakers and information that's useful for you as a homeowner or resident of our great city. On the 17th, I attended Connect Citrus Heights, and we welcomed a new staff member, so I'm very excited about that in economic development and communications. And Connect Citrus Heights is a great resource, again, if you're looking, if you're part of an organization or even a community group, such as a church or other organization, and you want to share resources or ask for resources, great organization to be a part of. I also attended our Cal Cities Regional Membership Gathering in Reading, and the topic this quarter was on wildlife fire prevention, and there are always some nuggets in there about hardening your home, protecting your home from various forms of landscaping and things of that nature. I also attended Brews in the Burbs. This is my second year attending, and I think it's the third year being in Citrus Heights, and it's grown, and it's an amazing, fun event. So when it comes around next year, attend. Whether or not you're a beer drinker, they also have wine and other spirits, so it's a good time. Sue Frost also had her community meeting here. Again, if you want to meet your elected officials, they come to us. And there's no better time than when they're reporting specifically on activities that are happening in our city here at our own backyard. She shared results of her survey results, which included concerns for public safety. As you can imagine, public safety is a big conversation, as well as homelessness. Those are top concerns for our residents and the surrounding county that she is representing. This morning, I attended the Citrus Heights Chamber, of which I am a board, and we are opposing, and I failed to write down the bill, but we're opposing a bill that is going to make franchisees, so those who are owners of franchises, beholden legally with their franchise, parent franchise owners to be liable. And we know that as soon as something goes into the legal realm, prices go up. And that means prices at your McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, et cetera, of which we all have in our community, will begin to go up. And we don't believe that that is a necessary activity that needs to be legislated at this point. So we are opposing that particular piece of legislation. So keep an eye on that. And finally, I attended our Sac County Library Board, and they passed their budget today. And, you know, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that they are looking at making sure that our own Sylvan Library is well taken care of. I know they had a meeting recently with our leadership teams, and they are looking at not only building up more safety measures, but also cleaning up that surrounding park area. Thank you.
Great. Vice Mayor Daniels, what have you been up to?
Thank you. I believe your bill you're talking about is AB 1228.
Thank you.
1228. Lots of stuff going on. I joined the Honorable Councilwoman Jane there at the Neighborhood Association 789 Chasen meeting, and got to hear from our Assemblyman Josh Hoover, who is working as hard as he can to do amazing things and coming up against the roadblocks that have caused us to see where we are today with crime throughout California. In essence, they won't let a single public safety measure out of the committee that includes one extra day of any kind of jail for anybody. It's horrible, it's disgusting, but it's what happens when there's control by the folks that don't want to have that changed. It's just terrible. I also attended with the other council members, Brews and the Burbs. Wow, what a party. If you didn't go, put it on your calendar next year. Disclaimer is I like weak American beer, so I didn't get to drink any beer there. They had real beer there. So, but a whole lot of people having a good time, a really good time. And not just I don't mean from drinking beer good time, but there was a whole bunch of activities going on. There was a band that was entertained and all of that. And so put it on your calendar for next year. It's a good time. You'll enjoy yourselves. Went to the RT board meeting. Not too much to report out of that. We did go through a process of an eval on the CEO, Mr. Henry Lee. He's an amazing man. He does an incredible job. I don't know how he gets everything done, and we're lucky to have him in that organization. And he'll be staying there for a long time, I do believe. Attended the Air Board meeting this morning, and a couple of things out of that. We did pass the proposed budget and fee schedule for this coming year. The budget's going to be around $90 million, close to $90 million being spent in the Sacramento region to make your air cleaner. I voted no on it because it also included an increase of 7.67% on fees that were connected to the CPI increase over the last April to April. I asked if we incurred increases in that arena for those things that the fee would pay for, and no evidence could be presented that that was the case. The board, the board, it operates on what is coming up on a deficit, I believe, is how I'll put it. But we had one staff member, and I just wrote her quote down, and it says, "Our costs are outpacing our revenues." And yeah, they are, because we're taking on too many things. We have the state throwing things down our throats all the time with the Air Board, and it's just gotten out of control. And it's a budget that's, again, close to $90 million for the Sacramento region. And so putting that burden back on companies that would have to pay fees, and they'll only push those fees onto their customers, does nothing in my eyes but, again, perpetuate and increase the problem with inflation as it is going now. So voted no on it, but it passed. And there is a ribbon-cutting ceremony tomorrow at Twin Rivers Grant High School area. A lot of electric buses that are coming online with charging systems, and that's a wonderful thing. I think that's a great idea for electrical vehicle use, is things such as buses that run short distances and get people from point A to point B, and on quick time and short distances. And then we heard more and more about hydrogen fuel power generation that I hope is more of the future, and that we don't simply think we can continue to increase electrical demand throughout California and not suffer the consequences if we don't do something like increased hydrogen power generation. Going on to other things, Jane and I attended the San Juan District 2x2, that's 2 council members and members of the school board and the school district administrator, is that, I believe, her title? Superintendent, I'm sorry, superintendent. Very good meeting, good things coming out of it. We talked a little bit about all kinds of things. Two that I'll bring up would be hardening the schools and what's going on with that process, and it's moving forward. It's unfortunate that it's moving slow, but you know, it's kind of mirrored down in bureaucracy to a point to where it has to even go to a state agency to get some sort of architectural approval to put even what I think is just the simplest things to protect our children. So it's unfortunate. I think it's today, if I'm not mistaken, is the 1-year anniversary of Uvalde, and I don't understand why there isn't a greater focus on protecting our children. And then we also talked about SROs and how we might move forward with that in the future, and how they felt about that, and that was a good conversation. I want to thank the city manager, city staff for putting up the beautification signs that I noticed, one on Greenback, one on Sunrise. I don't know if there's more, but it tells people that what we're doing here, we're trying to, you know, keep our city, get our city as clean as possible. We put tools in place, a beautification crew. We've increased our impact team to deal with homelessness and the negative aspects of the blight that can come with that. But those things require your help, and they require you to see something, say something. You know, if you notice something, we've given you all kinds of ways to get a hold of the city to get it cleaned up. And your eyes are a whole lot more than our eyes, and so please take advantage of that and help us, you know, beautify our city as much as we can. And then coming up, Memorial Day, Monday, you know, tell your kids what it's about. Make sure your kids understand what Memorial Day is about. It's not a day off from school. It's not just a fun time. They need to know what it's about. So it's not a happy Memorial Day either. It's Memorial Day. Last day of school is coming up. As we talk about with the first day of school, watch out for the kids around schools. Last day of school, you're probably going to see more kids in your neighborhoods and out playing around, hopefully. So watch out for the kids. You know, last day of school is coming up. And the final thing, happy birthday to my first granddaughter, Hannah. I love you. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you, Vice Mayor. So you know, most people kind of see, they look at their council members and they think, well, they get together once a month and we have to, and we have a meeting and we kind of make decisions. There are a number of boards that we all serve on. I happen to serve on SACOG. That's the only board that I serve on, but I also serve on the Quality of Life Committee. But I have, and it's my job to assign the boards that everyone is assigned to. So I just want to, number one, recognize my fellow council members for all the hard work that they do. I know sometimes it really is impactful for the schedule, and I just very much appreciate all the hard work you guys put in for the very small stipend you receive every month. So with that, I'm delighted to say that I've been really sick with a terrible cold, but I really did have to pull it together for the SACOG project round of funding. That our staff works very, very hard in putting together grant proposals based on the guidelines that SACOG. SACOG is Sacramento Area Council of Governments. There's 26 cities and 31 board members, and we all have to vote on these things in order for them to go forward. So I'm delighted to say that that we did win a couple of really important funding opportunities, and the first one was the Auburn Boulevard Complete Streets Project, Phase 2. That was $8.1 million for that that round of funding. We also won the San Juan Avenue Complete Streets Project Phase 1, and that means that the east side of San Juan Avenue is going to get sidewalks. Going to be a lot safer. There's going to be some repaving, not the entire part of San Juan, but a good part of San Juan. The worst part is going to get taken care of with this. And I just can't say enough about our staff. These are very competitive. Again, as I mentioned, 26 different cities, and there's the counties involved. And there were some pretty disgruntled folks that didn't win. They didn't win their, either not as much as they would like, but because of our staff's hard work, there was $111 million that was going to be awarded, and of that, we won 12.4, which is more than 10%. That is phenomenal, and I just want to acknowledge that. Thank you, Regina. Your group did phenomenal, and Casey. Sorry, but yes, very good job. So I'm delighted to say, and we all have to work together. So certainly, I appreciate Sue Frost did support that project as our supervisor, and she's a vote on the board. So every vote counts, especially this particular time. There were some folks that chose not to vote. They abstained from the vote, which made it a little harder for the rest of us to make up that gap. So I just want to again thank the staff for hard work and those who voted for us to will finally next year. We should be able, 24, 25, we should be kicking off and really completing those projects, starting the completion of those projects. It's been a long time coming. So with that, I did attend just 2 days ago in this room. Sue Frost had her community meeting. It was very well attended, some great questions. I want to do that more. I want the community to feel that they have access to their board members, to their council members. Jane Taff accompanied me there, and I really much appreciate all the questions and feedback that we got from that. There's still some to-do items from that, so we're still working forward. Another thing I was delighted to hear yesterday, I was listening to KFBK, I think it was around 8:30 in the morning, and I heard Megan Huer's voice come over the radio. And I was so proud that she was, and we were promoting the Business Attraction Grant. And ideally, these are regional businesses we'd love to come to Citrus Heights so that we can draw buyers and customers from other communities, not just our own. And so I just want to appreciate Megan for doing the great job on the radio. That I was just so proud, and that we heard someone I knew on the radio. So anyhow, with that, that's all I had. So thank you so much. We'll move on to the next item, please.
The next item is consent calendar items 5, 6, and 7.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, move approval from Karpinski-Costa, second by Middleton. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. Next item, please.
Next item is public hearing, item number 8. The subject is 7086 Auburn Boulevard, Hummel Beer House, request for letter of public convenience and necessity. The recommendation is to approve the letter of public convenience and necessity to allow the issuance of a Type 42 alcohol license for the sale of beer and wine at Hummel Beer House located at 7086 Auburn Boulevard.
Thank you, Mayor Schaefer, fellow members of council. Eric Singer presenting on behalf of the Planning Division this evening. Kind of fitting this is hot on the heels of Brews and the Burbs, because we're going to be talking about something very similar here. We are discussing the proposed letter of public convenience and necessity for Humle Beer House. I actually just recently learned how to pronounce that correctly. It's Norwegian for hops. So a letter of public convenience and necessity, or PCN for short, is required when the California Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control, or ABC, finds that a particular census tract is over-concentrated with establishments that sell alcohol of a certain license type. ABC only issues the PCN if it's approved by a local jurisdiction. In this case, the council would be the determining body. So the applicant in question, Humle Beer House, would be a new craft brew pub use. It would be the first ever allowed within the city. It would be located in a center that's part of the Auburn Boulevard Special Plan Area at the southern end. has a GP, or general plan designation of general commercial. It is an allowed use by right. The brew pub would provide up to 22 taps of craft beers from all around the greater Sacramento area for on and off-site consumption. It would be proposing the hours of operation that you see before you there, never closing later than 9 p.m. on any given night. Noise would be limited to just inside the tap room, with all music to be played as background noise, as it was described in the letter from the applicant. No amplified sound according to the description that they provided. At this time, they're not proposing to serve any food, but they would allow for food to be brought on site for consumption from other uses in the center. So the reason, again, for the PCN application is because the census tract in which this would be located, 81.36, currently allows 3 on-sale licenses. Anything in excess of that would require the PCN. There are 8 currently existing on-sale alcohol licenses in the census tract, but of the 8 existing, 7 are restaurants or retailers. As part of review, of staff's review, the police department also reviews the PCN application, looks at things like site considerations, other uses within the center, calls for service, things of that nature. They provided a letter of no objection to the issuance of the license, and a member of PD is available to speak if there are any questions regarding their letter. Again, just looking at the map of the proposed location, it is proposed at where the little orange star is there. I apologize, it's not bigger. The yellow triangles are the other licenses that have been issued within the census tract. The closest actual quote-unquote bar is this one down here, Lori's Little Shack on Greenback. And the closest one in physical geography is actually not within the census tract. It would be Rocky's 7440 Club, about a half-mile north on Auburn Boulevard. But as I mentioned before, everything else within the vicinity is either a restaurant or a retailer that sells alcohol. This is staff's recommended motion, and again, I'm available to answer any questions. The applicants are here tonight. They're available to answer any questions you may have, and are free to speak actually to what they're trying to do with the business.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Any questions from council?
I just have one. Could you pull the map back up, please? Could you just for curiosity's sake, point out where Sylvan Middle School is?
So Sylvan Middle School is located across the street here, kind of where my mouse is hovering over.
Okay. All right, okay, good, thank you.
No problem.
I do have a question. Are they going to be serving food as well as beverages?
So initially, there was no mention of serving food out of the establishment. They would allow for food to be brought on site from nearby restaurants, potentially if there's food trucks. You see this a lot with brew pubs in the region where a business may operate just selling the beer initially. They may attract local businesses, food trucks, things of that nature. Will allow food on site, kind of make it a family-friendly environment, and then over time they expand their menu to allow for food.
And are they permitted to sell the beer for off-site use?
For off-site consumption, yes. This would be for both on-sale, or I should say on and off-site consumption, but it would have to be sold in a manner conducive to ABC standards, which is you're not allowed to basically take a can and open it right out front type of thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
My question in particular is this particular area is really congested. It's a really small, tight parking lot. If I'm not mistaken, this is where our Starbucks is, that area, and I don't know how they would have food trucks in that area unless they were on the other side where KFC is. So that's just a curiosity for me why they're not serving food.
The applicant can speak to probably more specifically why they're not initially serving food, but I can say that if there would ever be an application for a food truck or anything of that nature to operate in the center, it would be required to be issued a temporary use permit. So we would be looking at considerations like location on site, traffic congestion and impacts, if they're taking up parking spaces, things of that nature. So it definitely wouldn't just be allowed by right.
So I could bring my own sandwich and have a beer there?
I would hope so.
Oh, okay.
over to Mr. Pickles.
Yeah, well, no, thanks.
That's too far.
One more thing. Could you pull up the hours of operation again? Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Okay, any other questions from council? With that, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing. And I have one speaker card, and to speak on this item, her name is Janice J. Cox. If you would please come to the podium.
The applicant would be talking first, but, so I would know if I needed to say anything about, anyway.
Oh, can we do?
No, it's fine.
Yeah, let's have the applicant come.
I'm for it, so I mean.
Okay, all right.
But I thought normally the applicant come and give their point of view. And anyway, my name is Janice J. Cox, and I could throw a rock and hit where that is. I'm not worried about the crowds. I hope there are crowds, actually. We need more successful businesses. Brew pubs are so much fun. I know it's starting up new, and they probably can't even put in a commercial kitchen or anything. So I'm not concerned about that. There's enough restaurants around there between Ciro's and Wonderful and Starbucks even, and the pizza. But there are brew pubs everywhere. Roseville must have 50 of them. Sacramento County has countless. And Citrus Heights is kind of just an empty blah. We need more businesses like this. I'm not worried about it being across the street from the school because I'm sure they're going to have very strict controls. If they don't, the police department will take care of that. The hours, I just wish it was open a little bit later, actually. But that's just me. I love dark, chewy beers. I don't like weak American beers. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I hope there's no objections. I know there are issues because of the parking in that little area, but most of that parking is really taken up by Starbucks. So, you know, in the evening, it's not that busy. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Great. If the applicant is here, we'll certainly love to hear from you.
Yeah, of course. Hey, yeah, so we're just excited. We were two best friends that wanted to start a business. We've been around craft beer pretty much our whole lives. His brother actually has a well-established brewery in Rancho Cordova, Claim Steak Brewing already. So we hope to utilize some of the connections to be able to bring a lot of local craft beer, especially here to Citrus Heights. Our idea for the tap room and where it's at and the reasons for the hours, albeit, you know, some of the hours I wouldn't mind pushing a little later, but that's the establishment that we're trying to establish is not a regular bar. So in my letter of whatever the letter was called, I can't remember, I established that just wasn't the crowd that we were looking to attract. And we know that Citrus Heights, we've heard from a lot of different people that are excited to bring craft beer to Citrus Heights. And so we thought we would bring it in a really professional way and are excited, hopefully, to open our tap room.
Great. Any questions? Yes.
Can you tell us about the name?
Yeah, yeah.
Humle. It's all the Scandinavian languages for hops. My dad's family came from Norway in the 1900s, so we're just looking for something different. Everything has, like, you know, similar names in the beer industry, so.
And that center, as you come in, Starbucks is on the left, Chando's on the right in the back.
Yep.
Where are you guys going to be?
We're kitty corner from Chando's.
We walk out the front door, Chando's is directly to the left of us, across the parking lot.
On the same section as Starbucks?
We're on the end cap with opposite of Haya Sushi. So
Okay.
we're on the complete opposite end of the same building as Sushi.
Oh, good, good, very
Chando's
good.
is in one building with the bank.
Yeah.
And then Starbucks is there with Little Caesars, and the rest of that is.
Yeah, that center is a magnet for those kids when they get out of school, and I'm glad to hear you guys are going to be kind of away from that front
Yeah, we're
then.
in the back corner.
Otherwise, I would think that there could be some issues. So I'm happy to hear that. I'm kind of concerned about your hours, and I know it's not just the younger crowd that likes craft beer, but I'm just wondering if the hours are going to take away from your ability to succeed. And just maybe a legal question, that if we approve their hours now and they wanted to come back and ask for extended hours, are we able to do that?
Yeah, what you could do is direct staff that, so we could administratively do that as opposed to having to come back to council.
I'd leave that up to the council and if they'd rather have it come back or, but I'd like to have, at least have them have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, yeah, we don't need a knuckle dragging bar or
Yeah, of
anything like
course.
that.
No, yeah, of
And it is a different kind of atmosphere for that kind of beverage. But I think a lot of, especially the younger crowd, they don't get started till 8 o'clock at night and on the weekends, so.
Yeah.
Vice Mayor, if I may, the PCN doesn't have any hour restrictions, so there's nothing to require them to have less hours. It's just what they proposed, so we can work with them.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I have.
So, is your model to sell or serve?
The model's to serve.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not, you're not selling containers or
So we're not
jugs
gonna
that I
sell-
can take away from my,
Well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we might, if we were looking towards selling, carrying some of the breweries like 4-pack types of beers, things like that. But at the moment, we're focusing on service first, of course.
and how many different types of beers will you be serving, do you think?
Approximately 20 different types of beer at least.
20 different
Yeah.
types of beers?
That's hopefully what we're aiming towards.
Wow, okay.
And the parking, I want to say one thing about the parking. What we've noticed is the bank actually during the day takes a lot of the parking. And so, especially on that back side. So I know the bank, when it closes towards that nighttime, the parking lot definitely opens up.
And we would want you to be good neighbors and kind of watch that, that we don't want the other businesses to suffer if you guys come in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody needs to be good neighbors over there, definitely.
I have a question.
Great, yes.
Did I read that you have outdoor area? There's an outdoor seating area?
So we're proposing an outdoor seating area.
Where is
right-
that in
so-
location to your front door?
Absolutely, so it will be part of the front door. So you will actually enter a gate that opens into the business. So our gated area will be in the front.
It'll be a small patio area.
Yeah, so there's already a small landing there, and we'll be enclosing part of that, potentially.
And so you're not going to have like little bags of pretzels or anything?
Yeah, it's funny, my aunt.
Little peanuts?
She's like, make sure you have a popcorn machine.
Because you got to have something with beer.
Yeah.
We can sell bar snacks, we just can't prepare food with the license, so.
Yeah.
That's need a different license to have the kitchen, but.
Oh, yeah, we know that when we're trying to get restaurants in our city, yeah.
Yeah.
Any thoughts of, internal darts, whatever any of that?
We haven't really
throwing.
decided on indoor activities,
No,
like
lots of
completely.
TVs for sports and stuff.
Okay.
like that,
Yeah,
of
but
course,
just-
We could form teams. Yeah. Could have teams.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
I look forward to voting in favor of you guys, and I'm not much of a beer drinker, but I'll come and taste one or two of
There you
those
go.
beers.
So, can I have a motion?
You have to close the public.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, can I close the public hearing? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other further comments from council?
I'll make a motion, we approve letter of public convenience and necessity to allow issuance type 42 alcohol license for the sale of beer and wine. I forgot about the wine. At Humle Beer House in 7086 Auburn Boulevard.
Second.
All right, before we vote, I just want to make sure that, so if they wanted to extend their hours, should we include that now?
That would not be necessary. As part of the business license issuance, it's just done administratively. If they ever wanted to extend their hours of operation, they would let staff know, and we can work with them.
Thank you. So we can call the roll on the motion, please?
Councilmember Kropinski Costa?
Yes.
Councilmember Lopez Taff?
Yes?
Councilmember Middleton?
Enthusiastic, yes.
Vice Mayor Daniels?
Aye.
And Mayor Schaefer.
Aye. Motion passes.
Welcome to
Next item,
Citrus
please.
Heights.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 9. The subject is the fiscal year 23-24 and 24-25 budget adoption. The recommendation is to adopt a resolution approving the budget for fiscal years 23-24 and 24-25. Adopt a resolution establishing an appropriation limit for fiscal year 23-24. Adopt a resolution approving the 5-year capital improvement program for fiscal years 23-24 through 27-28. And adopt a resolution approving use of American Rescue Plan Act funds for police department services.
And Mayor Schaefer, Vice Mayor Daniels, members of the council, Ashley Feeney, your city manager, I just wanted to open up with a few comments before our administrative service director and our finance managers, Susan Talwar and Tammy Nassardi, go ahead and get started with the presentation. The council saw a comprehensive presentation on the budget at the last council meeting, where each department went ahead and walked through all the ins and outs of their individual budgets. It was a very comprehensive presentation. The Finance Committee has also received a similar presentation as well. So it's at that budget workshop, there was definitely plenty of opportunity to understand the budget. So this presentation is going to be a little bit more of a higher level summary to not repeat everything we did at the last meeting. And then I just also wanted to just kind of restate one of the things that I said last time. I mean, the way we approach this budget as a team is really, we feel like a city budget should be a statement of the city's values and priorities. And so that's really how we set this budget up. I'd say that it was a really fiscally prudent approach that looked very closely at actual spend rates, not just over the last few years, but even pre-COVID. And we took a conservative approach to establishing the expenditures in the budget. And in addition to that, I'd say from a long-term forecasting standpoint, and this will be covered as part of the presentation, we're also not only having a balanced budget, but we're also working to build up the reserve balance. So it'll allow city flexibility in the future to do more things. And one other thing to note is this is really, I think, the first time in the city's history that we've had significant general fund monies going towards street repairs. And so you'll hear a little bit more about that. But I'm really proud of the team that was involved in preparing this budget. A lot of gratitude to them. And I'll turn it over to Susan and Tammy for the presentation.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and council members. Tonight we're presenting to you the biennial budget overview and adoption. Just a quick overview, as City Manager Feeney mentioned, we did have a review with Finance Committee on May 2nd, and on May 11th, we did have our at our regular council meeting, the budget workshop. So what is going to be presented tonight is a condensed version of that, and if anybody did need to refer to it, it was recorded and available on our website for review. So we're going to be going through the budget approach and also the next 2 fiscal years, that is 23 through 25 of the proposed budget. We'll be covering the General Fund, the American Rescue Plan Act, other city funds, and the Capital Improvement Program. Our budget approach, we were focused on aligning with our strategic focus areas, keeping a balanced budget, and continuing to be fiscally prudent. We are remaining focused on infrastructure improvements. In fact, we've been able to expand on that with the way our budget is. And also community identified priorities were on our radar. And within all this, we were able to support our operational needs for the near term. So our proposed budget, just a quick summary here. Comparing our proposed 23-24, and then we have our 24-25 budget here. You can see our revenues, we've been able to pretty much keep that flat, and we'll go into details about that as well. Our expenditures are going up by about 1.4 million, so our net operating is still at a surplus of about 3.3 million. And going over to 24-25, we are projecting a net operating surplus of about 3.3 million. One thing to note is that in our financial forecast, we are typically projecting out about 4.5% for inflation. However, we have been able to manage to keep our expenditure at about 3.74% and 3.76%. Did you want to review this one?
So just a little review once again on the revenues. Sales tax is our #1 revenue maker. And then we have property tax and our motor vehicle in lieu. And then other revenues, as mentioned up there, user utility tax, TOT, those types of things. For every dollar that we spend on sales tax, the city gets a penny. And for property tax, for every dollar that we spent, the city gets 8.4 cents.
So just reviewing over general, I'm sorry?
I'm trying to keep myself seated for that one.
So for general fund expenditures, just a quick overview. Our total, this just kind of highlights by department each of the expenditures that are going out. And just to note, our total expenditures for 23-24 are $39.8 million. And when looking at 24-25, our total proposed expenditures are about $41.3 million. So quick overview on our general fund budget. We are requesting an additional 0.5 FTEs, and we went through that last week, and I'll highlight that in the next slide. Really what we did was we came together and did a lot of reclassifications of positions so that we ended up with a net of 0.5, and that's to better meet our operational needs that we need currently. For the first time ever, we've also been able to, we've been able to allocate funds for maintenance of street repairs. And we're allocating about $2 million for 23-24, and then upping that to about $4 million in 24-25. And also, we have our $4 million set aside for the Auburn Boulevard. And this is just a quick highlight of our proposed position changes that net to about 0.5.
So
FTE
Susan, can I
increase.
get you to roll back one slide, please?
Yes.
So I've had this question, a couple of people asked, what does FTE mean?
Oh, sure. My apologies. We should spell that out. It is a full-time employee.
Yes, okay, so that's, just to clarify, when we're talking about positions, we're talking about people. How many people we have? We have 210.75, feel sorry for the 0.75 person out there, but nonetheless.
Part-times equals one full-time.
Is that our dog?
Right, right, so, but lots of people kind of, we're quite curious about what FTE means, so.
Yes, that is correct. It is full-time employees.
Thank you.
No problem. And just want to highlight the American Rescue Plan Act. We did receive about $15.6 million and have been able to allocate that throughout the last couple of years. We are requesting about $2.3 million for rehiring of public safety to pre-pandemic levels, and about $400,000 for the fleet replacement program, and that is for 23-24.
So if I could just slow you down on that slide as well.
Yes.
So just want to clarify for the audience that on the American Rescue Plan Act dollars, those have to be allocated by the end of 2024 and spent by the end of 2026. So it's not like we can just tuck this into general fund somewhere. We have to allocate that to specific and very constrained uses. We can't just use it for anything. So, I think we're doing pretty darn well in managing these funds. I think they've gone to so I'm sorry, I'm going to let you get back to it.
No worries. Thank you. And just to review our appropriations limit, this is a limit basically based on our general population, the amount of capacity we have or what we can allocate as far as expenditures. We have an appropriation limit of $67.6 million, so that means our expenditures, if needed, we could, for general fund, reach the $67.6 million limit, and we could not spend more than that. As you saw, our budget is well below that. Our appropriate capacity that we have remaining is about 44.15%, so we're spending just a little over half. And just a quick view of our financial forecast. As you can see, and as City Manager Feeney mentioned, we do have our reserve balances here in the blue bars, and then our minimum council policy is 17%, and that's our orange line going through here. And then the city manager's target reserve at about 25%. So We are starting to build up, and this allows us to be able to better support any grant opportunities and also to build up our capital improvement program.
So just to clarify that piece, the grant, so if we have additional reserve funds and there's a grant available that requires matching funds, having additional reserves provides us with an opportunity to take advantage of those. If we had already been all the way down to the minimum, we wouldn't be able to take advantage of grants if they came forward.
That's correct. And as such, the $4 million for the Auburn Boulevard match, to your example.
Thank you.
So moving into capital improvement program, we are required to prepare a capital improvement program, and we have a 5-year capital improvement that we go through, and you will see that has been incorporated into the 2-year budget for the next 2 years. And this is just our 5-year outlook, but we are more focusing today on the 23-24 and 24-25 capital improvement program. So you can see that's about 17.3 million, about 34.9 million.
I have a question on that. So pavement restoration on this chart, is that separate from the 2 million pavement restoration from the general fund? Is that in addition? What's pavement restoration under capital improvement different from the general fund?
Yeah, these would be projects that are in the CIP that are identified that we're using other fund sources for. So here later in the presentation, you're going to give an example of a lot of other funds, but like say, for instance, gas tax or.
I mean, it's fixing streets.
Right, so fixing streets. So that money that was
Basically,
identified.
we're going to spend 7 million on fixing streets, 2 plus 5.
Well, for instance, we had the 2 million that's forecasted for 23, 24, and then 4 million for 24, 25.
Right.
So that would be for projects that we have, that are not necessarily fully represented in the CIP yet. Those are part of the pavement strategy program that's gonna come back to the council, and we're gonna talk about where we're gonna look to allocate those monies.
The internal streets.
Right,
Whereas these other ones are our big streets where we're doing work.
Yeah, we have the resurfacing program that we do, the residential street resurfacing. We have our CIP, and then these additional dollars that we have in the long-range forecast help us be able to do more. So.
And as City Manager Feeney mentioned, this is an example of that. So we have our city funds, we have our general fund, our enterprise fund, our special revenue funds, and our capital funds. So through each of these funds, our special revenue funds are more restricted and need to be spent on certain areas, and then you can see our capital improvement funds. So they're not all just coming out of the general fund or the $2 million, so to speak. And this is just a highlight of the 24-25. You can see total revenues are about 83.8 million, and about our expenditures are about 81.5 million. So next steps, today we are here at budget adoption, and on June 8th we will have the distribution of the adopted budget book. So what you have in front of you is a trifold. It's called a budget in brief, or some people like to call it a bib. But it's a mini budget book, quick and easy, referred to type of, it's our first one actually that we've done here in the city. And so you will see a much more detailed, expanded version, the regular budget book that we normally hand out. With that, we have our recommendations. Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions from council? Are there any? Okay. Yes.
You didn't look this way.
Sorry.
I feel like it's like deja vu all over again. You know, we've been through this a couple of times, and each time it just makes me happier and happier and happier. You know, if you had come to this meeting 2 years ago or whatever, you would be thinking gloom and doom. And it's, you know, finally those people, I know they're sitting in their houses in Citrus Heights. There's like 5 of them, and they're just waiting to go. Like, I told you so. I told you cityhood wouldn't work. So. Today we're in a place that is excellent. It shows we're a vibrant city. It shows we're alive. It shows we can provide the services that people want, while at the same time not asking for more money. And so We have a surplus. There's going to be good things that come from that too. And, you know, again, this is my 13th year on the council, and I couldn't be happier today than I've ever been being a part of this city. So thank you for the hard work. Thank you for the hard work. Thank all the staff for the hard work. It's amazing what we've accomplished.
Portia?
It's nice that it's a 2-year budget. You only have to do the hard work once.
Jana, comments?
I just stated.
Okay, all right.
And Mayor Schaefer, I just wanted to note, I have not received any public comment speaker cards.
Thank you. I was just going to ask you for those. So,
Can I say something to Tim about that?
Absolutely.
Show me another city that has a budget process and nobody shows up to say something. I think that's remarkable. That, you know, people might look at that as negative. I see that as a positive. You know, that to me, that tells me that the good majority of people at Citrus Heights like what's going on. And so, again, couldn't be happier.
Okay. No more questions or, no comments? Okay. Can I have a motion, please?
Can we do them all at once?
Unfortunately, they are separate resolutions, so we'll take them separately.
You want to start?
All right, I'll take number 1. We'll all take turns. I motion that we adopt Resolution 2023-whatever, approving the Citrus Heights 2-year budget for fiscal years 23-24 and 24-25 resolution.
Second.
Okay, motion by Karpinski-Costa, second by Daniels. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Karpinski-Costa?
Yes.
Councilmember Lopez Taff?
Aye.
Councilmember Middleton?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Daniels?
Aye.
And Mayor Schaefer?
Aye, motion passes.
Would move that we adopt a resolution of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights, California, establishing an appropriation limit for fiscal years 23-24.
Second.
Motion by Daniels, second by Taft. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Karpinski-Costa?
Yes.
Councilmember Lopez Taff?
Aye.
Councilmember Middleton?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Daniels?
Aye.
And Mayor Schaefer?
Aye. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll take the third one, that we approve, adopt the resolution approving the City of Citrus Heights 2-year capital improvement program for fiscal years 2023-24 and fiscal years 24-25.
Second.
Wait a minute, we have to go back and reread that.
What was that?
The third one?
The third one?
What's wrong with it?
Want to reread it?
Well, what's wrong with it?
Mine says something different.
We're reading from the screen.
Which is right. Mine says on the agenda, it says 23-24 through 27-28.
Oh, that's true.
It's a 5-year plan, right?
Oops. It's a typo.
Oh, it's a 5-year plan.
Let's read the screen.
No, isn't the screen wrong?
Yeah.
I read from the screen. Which one is accurate?
The screen is accurate.
No.
So it still stands?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's a 2-year plan
I
or a
think
5-year
what's
plan?
referencing there is the 5-year CIP is what was on this agenda here. And so ultimately let's just go ahead and clarify this resolution that they're adopting, because they are adopting a 2-year budget and a 5-year CIP.
Sure, yes.
So
it should say, adopt resolution number 2023, and Amy, if I get this wrong, help me out, dash, approving City of Citrus Heights 2-year budget for fiscal years 23-24 and 24-25. And
We did that, though, in the first
okay,
resolution.
I'm sorry.
We're on-
Okay.
We're on C,
I'm
number 3.
I'm toggling between 2 different agendas here, so, for 3, it should speak to the 5-year capital improvement program.
Okay.
Okay, I will reread according to the written agenda item. So we'll adopt a resolution of the City of Citrus Heights, or resolution of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights approving the 5-year capital improvement program for fiscal years 23-24 through 2027-28.
Second.
Okay, motion by Taft, second by Middleton. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Karpinski-Costa?
Yes. Yes.
Councilmember Lopez Taff?
Aye.
Councilmember Middleton?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Daniels?
Aye.
And Mayor Schaefer?
Aye, and thank you for a cooperative
catch.
vote, cooperative action right there. Okay, so can I have a
Before we
motion
take
on
the
third?
last
fourth
one,
item?
4 and D on the agenda are different. Which one should I be reading?
Ooh.
It's a little clearer on the written one, I think.
Then we'll take that one. Is that good to go?
I suggest reading off the written one. Truthfully, they're very similar. That one just doesn't, this one doesn't have the year, so I would say move as according to what's on the agenda.
Okay.
The written.
All right, I move that we adopt a resolution of the City Council of the City of Citrus Heights, California, approving the use of American Rescue Plan Act funds for police department services.
Second.
Motion by Middleton, second by Daniels. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Karpinski Costa?
Yes.
Councilmember Lopez Taft?
Yes.
Councilmember Middleton?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Daniels?
Aye.
And Mayor Schaefer.
Aye. Okay, we're done. All right. Okay, so, let's see here. Next item, please.
Next item is a regular calendar, item number 10. The subject is History and Arts Grant Program Application for Royal Stage. The recommendation is to adopt a resolution approving the History and Arts Grant Program application for Royal Stage.
Good evening, Mayor Schaefer and members of City Council. I am Megan Huber, Economic Development and Community Engagement Director. Your Economic Development and Community Engagement Department now has the responsibility and the pleasure of administering the City of Citrus Heights History and Arts Grant Program. And we have received a request from Royal Stage for consideration this evening. As background, the History and Arts Grant Program provides funding opportunities for historical preservation and awareness, and also promotion of arts and culture in our city. The applications are accepted on a first-come, first-served basis throughout the fiscal year, and there is a wide eligibility for potential applicants. This applicant, Royal Stage, has requested $10,000 to be used for outreach and scholarships to Citrus Heights youth to participate in performing arts activities. Per the History and Arts Grant Program guidelines, this request is brought to the City Council Quality of Life Committee. Staff made a recommendation for consideration of a $5,000 request, and details of that recommendation are laid out in the staff report for this item. The Quality of Life Committee recommended to City Council that we award $5,000. So this is the recommendation. I would like to pause. It's my understanding that we might have a representative from Royal Stage here this evening. Yeah, if you'd like, come on up. Ariel, correct? Welcome, Ariel from Royal Stage, who will give us some background on the organization and their initiatives.
Hi. So my name is Ariel Hoekstra. I am actually an employee at Royal Stage as well as a volunteer. I got involved as a way to bond with my daughter. So, and right now I teach our art classes at the Citrus Heights location in the Sunrise Mall, as well as we rotate who gets to direct our shows. So, do you guys have any questions about our program?
Yeah, I do. Any questions from council?
I have a question.
Yes, Jane.
I know you've been open, I went to your grand opening, and I know you've been open for a while, so how's it going? Has enrollment picked up? I would love to see a show.
Yeah, actually it's been going really well. I'm glad you made it to the opening. It was a fun night. We now have 9 classes at our Citrus Heights location, including arts, technical arts, and various types of dance. And obviously our theater program is there. We have been doing really well. We've grown, I think, a little more than we initially thought we were going to at first. So it's been a pretty big boom, but it's been fun. And we've gotten a chance to reach a lot of kids, which is the whole purpose.
Yeah, and I have to mention, I really appreciate that you open up your facility and location to other organizations to have great, our chamber has had award ceremonies there and other networking events, and so there's more to the Royal Stage than only the courses that you have, which are wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely. We've had quite a few different people come in and use the facilities, and we've made a lot of improvements to kind of make it a little more user-friendly when renters want to come in or use it for different programs. But
Thank you.
So you answered my question already.
Oh.
Any other questions from council?
And quick note, Executive Director Tammy Wartina could not be here this evening because, from what I understand, there were more than 60 kiddos swarming the theater for Frozen auditions. So I feel like that is a valid excuse.
What's a Frozen audition?
Frozen, like the Disney movie Frozen, Let It Go. I'm not gonna sing it.
So
have it on my
I go to
phone.
too many meetings, I don't know what's going on.
Do you want to hear the song? I have it on my phone.
Actually,
That's okay, you don't remember what I remember.
I would love for you guys to come and see it if you'd like. I know that auditions are just now, so it won't be happening until the end of July, but I have some tickets just to kind of improve our relationship with City Council and make sure you guys get to see where the funding is going and what we can do.
I'd love to. That'd be fantastic.
Get to see Frozen?
Yeah. Or we have other shows too. We do lots of shows. This summer we're doing Clue and Frozen, and then in fall we'll be doing Beauty and the Beast, and then we've got lots
And you
more
did
lined
Sound
up.
of Music recently?
We just finished The Sound of Music and Rock of Ages, which was all 80s music, so it was very
Are these all children performers?
No, we actually do all ages, so it's
But this
children
money's for
and
scholarships,
adults.
grants for kids.
The scholarship is for Citrus Heights residents, youth.
Children.
Yes.
So you do adult people, like?
Yeah,
so-
absolutely. I've performed in a couple myself. It's very fun.
All right, can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the quality of life recommendation to grant the History and Arts Grant Program application to Royal Stage. I think it's 10,000.
Second?
It's a $5,000 recommendation.
Oh, that's right, because it was only 10,000 in the pot, right? So it's
Less than
5,000.
10,000. Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I have a motion by Karpinski Costa and a second by Daniels. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Karpinski Costa?
Yes.
Councilmember Lopez Taff?
Yes.
Councilmember Middleton?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Daniels?
Aye.
And Mayor Schaefer?
Absolutely. Okay, next item, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 11. The subject is approval of Sunrise Marketplace Property-Based Improvement District 2022 Annual Report. The recommendation is to adopt a resolution approving the Sunrise Marketplace 2022 Annual Report.
Okay, one more item this evening, and it's consideration of approval of our Sunrise Marketplace Property Business Improvement District Annual Report. Our Sunrise Marketplace is the property improvement district that represents over 400 businesses in one of the most prominent commercial corridors in Citrus Heights, Sunrise Boulevard, between Greenback and Madison. As an incorporated PBID, it's required by law to provide an annual report to City Council, and the PBID Board of Directors approved this annual report on April 13th and are ready to present it here. This will be the recommendation, but we're going to make a quick switch because I am not the subject matter expert on this. I am going to turn the microphone over to Sunrise Marketplace Executive Director Kathy Lynn Carpenter to review the annual report and share all of their successes from the past year.
Thank you, Megan. Appreciate it. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, Mr. Feeney. Thank you for having us this evening. I'm excited because I haven't had a lot of FaceTime with you guys, so I'm looking forward to giving you a little update. Happily, it's a lot of pictures. One of the biggest things that happened last year, we have a new office, and I think most of you have been there, so we're pretty excited about that, and we really appreciate the Bollingers providing the space and doing most of the tenant improvements. So we've been very happy there. We do have a conference room, Rotary or the Chamber, community groups are welcome to use it. Obviously, any of our businesses. We have a big screen TV, a nice audio system. So feel free if you know someone who needs to use a room like that. It seats about 20 people. And what do you want me to do? Oh, do I have a clicker, don't I? So, a new thing for us, for those of you who have been here for a while, Vice Mayor Daniels, Councilmember Carpinci Costa, we really started as a marketing and special event PBID. And that's really all we did, until 2020. And it wasn't until 2020, around COVID, that we began to see a deterioration, I should say an increase in some of the activity. And at the same time, the police department's bandwidth was getting squeezed a bit, and the budget was getting squeezed. And so we said, gosh, we're going to have to step in to protect our businesses and make sure our consumers have a safe, clean, and attractive place to come to. So we started that in 2020. As you know, we have Officer Jeff Schouten, who works Tuesday through Friday, does a fabulous job. All of our businesses know him and are aware of him, and we could not be more pleased. We have worked with Sergeant Chimino, who was his supervisor, and also extremely helpful Lieutenant Herman. Everyone that we work with has been really great to work with, great partners. Security and maintenance is about 38% of our budget, which is a pretty big number. We spend about $325,000 a year on those two things. So you can see it's a pretty important thing. For security, the way we get these great stats is we had one of our businesses in our district develop an app for us that tracks incidents and locations. And this allows me to see, what kind of things are we seeing out there. And as you can see, we prevent a lot of theft. Now, one thing we just added to the app was value, so that because when I read comments, I often see recovered $4,000, or, recovered a big screen TV, or whatever. And I said, we have to start tracking that so that we can say, yes, property owners, this is what we're spending, but, this is what we're recovering. Obviously, it's going to offset the cost, but that's something we're going to start keeping track of. So we do a lot of theft prevention where they'll call and the guys will just come over. They call it a burn, where they just kind of stand around looking intimidating. Or sometimes they get called right after and they're able to catch her then in the parking lot. That happens a lot too. Or they happen to just be patrolling, because it isn't really a very big area. And so they're very visible. The other big thing, you can see by the numbers, we have a lot of transient activity. I don't like that word, but I like to make a distinction between a transient person and a homeless person. I know that we think of them as the same thing, but I do like to separate them out. And when I say transient, I mean someone who does not want help, who maybe is just not even homeless, but just as a kid, or teenagers out there, or, any number of people. And they could be homeless, but they do not want help. They are extremely assistance resistant. Officer Schouten and our security carry water, Walmart cards, bus passes, ponchos when it's cold, navigator cards. If someone wants help, then we will get them help. But the type of activity that we're seeing, and we probably have about 70 to 80 regulars in the district that we deal with. And they know us, they know Officer Schouten, they know our security. And some actually are pretty respectful, and we ask them to clean the graffiti and pick up trash, and actually some of them will do that. So obviously it's a big part of what we do. But we feel that this allows our consumers and our customers to feel safe and know that we're out there. Our security is out there 7 days a week. And again, Jeff is out there 4 10-hour days. Now, we also started porter service. This is also a very new thing for us. Ideally, this is something a property owner would do. But what we saw again, during COVID, was many of them were struggling, you know, financially, and there was an uptick in just, you know, what was happening out there. So we get stats for that as well. We're working on an app so we can get a little more detailed stats. I should also say, for both security and porter service, we track location. If I see that we've been to Walgreens 40 times, then we make a visit to Walgreens and explain that we cannot be your private security. You must get loss prevention. And then I will work with the landlord or try and go up to the chain. I mean, obviously a manager there wants to have that, but is not getting it. And so we try to go up the chain to help them get what they need. Also on security, we do training with loss prevention folks around the district and the different security services. And some people say, well, why do you have security when the centers have security? Center security is very different. They are not allowed to go inside a business, and they are not allowed to engage with anyone. They are there to observe and report. So they call us quite often so that we can go in the store or engage with whoever's out there causing a disturbance. We work very closely with Regina and her crew. Regina's been really great to work with, along with Mr. Feeney, allowing us to use the city yard. This is such a great benefit because before we have to go out to the dump, and that would take my porter, you know, off duty, and I have to pay extra for it. And so it's really handy to be able to do that. And if we see things in the public right of way or a shopping cart that is not one of our businesses, because we return shopping carts, and you can see we returned 900 shopping carts last year. Then we'll call the city and the beautification crew to get, you know, if it's a Safeway or something that's not in the district. So we do work closely, and I do appreciate that partnership. One of the big problems that has cropped up is illegal dumping. So I just implore, we don't know who's doing it, obviously, but I would implore any residents out there who are dumping their items here. It does add a lot of cost to the business to have to remove those items. Obviously, it doesn't look very good. All these pictures I'm going to show you, this could be one day. Like, there are dozens, hundreds. I mean, I really can't even express the amount of stuff that we have to clean up. Just yesterday we had someone put 20 bottles of used motor oil and brought it to a center. So it's really ongoing. There really isn't anything we can do about it. We're looking at placing some cameras and extra lighting in some places. Sunrise Rotorland, Firestone, these are big targets for that activity. The mall is a very big target for it. And the mall is very good about picking up their own dumped items, by the way. We also work closely with Ethan Conrad and his property manager, who I'm happy to report is very responsive and appreciates. She doesn't want us to clean up things, but she appreciates that we point it out to them and they clean it up, and they're very good about that. So we appreciate that partnership. So, as I said, there's really no repercussions for someone who dumps things. It's unfortunate. I can't imagine if one of my businesses were to dump 40 pallets in a neighborhood. There'd pretty much be hell to pay. But so it is frustrating. Again, we're working on some things. We have 2 SMUD grants and a TOT grant that's pending for CPTED types of activities. Again, lights, cameras in places where it's dark. Like any place, we do have some hot spots. Marie Callender's is a hot spot, and we've worked really closely with them to secure their building, although it does get broken into fairly regularly. Board ups just don't really work that well, and they have an alarm and everything. They cut the alarm wires. We had a bunch of them in a boiler room where they were burning candles around live gas lines, so just kind of stuff like that. Dead animals inside. So we're there fairly often, but the owners have been very responsive. They spent about $3,000 on landscape and now have ongoing landscaping services to keep it nice and clean over there. And, you know, we just kind of act as their eyes and ears to let them know what's going on and what we need them to do to make sure it's attractive and not a magnet for folks. So obviously, one of the reasons we do this is we don't want to be a place where camps can be established. As you have seen on Roseville Road and some, you know, places downtown or Midtown or in these areas, once they're established, it's very difficult. And so we just move them immediately. And that's a lot of what we spend time with. They live inside vacant businesses inside the mall, just really all over the place. So we think it's important to keep them moving along and not let them establish a presence in the district. Here you can see this is the last time Marie Callender's got broken into. The second window is Fukami, and that was part of something different. That was a company breaking windows so that they could be hired to fix them. So the police department did a fabulous job. I just want to say they did a great job capturing this guy. Unfortunately, Fukami was hit twice. It was $28,000 for the first set of windows, $100,000 for the second set. And they came very close to losing their insurance. So it was great to have that person caught. And the final picture, that's Elephant Bar, which we spent about $700 boarding up, and all the boards were taken down the next day. So you can see it's kind of a frustrating process for us. We clean graffiti. This particular area behind Dollar Tree gets hit once a week at least. Sunrise Village gets hit every night. She sends me about 7 or 8 tags every day. We know who the guy is. We talked to him today. Jeff scared the bejesus out of him, and hopefully that will stop. He promised to stop, so we'll see. Some things like brick are more difficult. It has to be pressure washed. That requires an extra amount of money, and often I'll just turn that back to the property owner. It's about $500 or $600, $700 to have it pressure washed. If it can be painted, then we'll paint it. Something like a trash enclosure can be painted. Here's an example of, you can see how good it looks once it is cleaned. It's expensive and time consuming. This is at Sunrise Mall. So we don't do that very often. The mall generally takes care of most of their graffiti, but every now and then we help them with some of the bigger tags that come about. We try to match paint as well as we can. The porter has to call me, is required to call me. I look at the paint. We purchase all the paint. We have a contract at Lowe's. We purchase all the paint for the porter, and he has to call me and make sure it can be matched. If it's in a visible area, if it's back in a loading dock or something, obviously it's not so important. But we do, it is very important to us that we don't just slap paint on there, which I'm sure you've seen some places you can tell where they've just kind of swathed over some paint, and we don't do that. So what are we doing about all this? As I've said, we increased our security from 4 to 7 days a week. These are armed private security officers. We have monthly security meetings. We increased our porter from 3 to 4 hours a week. And then we have the SEPTAD grants that we'll be looking at adding some lighting. So I think we do a really good job. I shouldn't like to think if we weren't out there, what it would be like. Marketing and events, something I used to do that was fun, but now I manage security. So I'm not going to go through all of this, just a couple of things. Of course, we used to do a lot of radio and print. Do you remember those days? But that doesn't really work anymore, so we're mostly social media. We do some radio. We send out newsletters, and we have a really high open rate on both our consumer. We have about 10,000 consumers we blast out to, and our business newsletters. Our most popular I think it was opened, I think it was, yeah, it was 3,301 that were opened. And I was like, holy moly, what was that? Well, it went out on accident. It was our clean and safe that goes to our businesses. But we thought, well, they're interested. You know, they want to know that it is clean and safe here. And we thought maybe it's not such a bad idea, you know, to shoot that information out to them. You know, they like seeing that, like knowing that it is clean here. Of course, we do events. A lot of talk about Brews and the Burbs, and I really appreciate that, and I appreciate y'all coming out. It was a great event. Ticket sales were a little light. I think the economy and inflation probably impacted our ticket sales, so we were light about 70, 75 tickets off this year. VIPs, 300 tickets sold out. Those always sell out, and they sell out right away. General admission was a little slower, but I think all in all, it was a really great event. People have a good time. As you guys have said, there's live music, there's dancing, there's games. So we're looking at, we haven't done our postmortem yet, but some of the things we're thinking of is, you know, how can we make it more attractive out there? Could be painting the asphalt to lower the temperature on the parking lot. Bringing more shade structures out. We're just going to be looking at some ways that we can maybe make it a little more attractive out there. Some removable infrastructure. Seems it's going to be a while before anything happens there. So, and that will be once it's all developed, the heart of the city and where many special events will take place. So I think it's a good idea to get people used to coming there on a regular basis for events and things. So we'll look at that. We are working with Gigi with Citrus Heights Art on a new series called Art Beat. And that first event is June 17th, if you'd like to come out. It's at Birdcage. We have a great little event area just behind Jamba Juice there, between kind of that and the Choose Fitness, but kind of right in that area there. And Gigi will have some crafters and artists, also a pop-up gallery inside an interior space adjacent to the event space. Food trucks, music, so I think it'd be a lot of fun. If you guys want to come out, we're going to be helping her with that. This year we did something, or last year we did something we've never done before. We did an event in Sunrise Rollerland, and it was super fun. We did a Stranger Things themed event, and Mr. Newt said that we brought many, many, many new customers that had never been to Rollerland before, and that's really the goal, isn't it? I mean, that was really positive event. And let's see, that's all on that. And then, of course, we'll have Magical Moments coming up in December. We're a little light on events due to renewal. And then one thing we've been very, very interested in is public art. Thank you so much for the mural grant. We really appreciate it. We'll be working with property owners. We're working with Sunrise Village right now for a mural on their wall that runs along Uplands Way, kind of near the New Seas Candy. There is kind of the entrance to Joanne there. So we're working with them on that mural. These are just some that we've done. I know you've seen them, I just throw them up here again. And then, as you know, of course, we do the Transformer artwork. We're hoping, it's very expensive, so we really can't do it unless we renew. So if we do renew, then we will allocate dollars for a phase 2 of the Transformers. We really love the idea of...
Does somebody paint those, or do you just put a...
They're wraps.
They're wraps. Okay.
They're wraps. I picked the artwork. We worked with a printer to print them and install them. And this was a beta project with SMUD. We were the first ones that SMUD came to roll out this program. So this was in 2019. Yeah. And you know the great thing about these and the murals? No graffiti. I've cleaned one very small tag off of the abstract one. Quite frankly, you probably wouldn't even know. But so they don't ask me why. They respect the art, and so we really push the murals, especially on places where we see a lot of tags. So we're really out there pushing and promoting those. And then I don't want to talk much about economic development. We did get a partner agreement grant through SMUD for business attraction. We'll be doing a business walk in the fall with SMUD and our security and officer to visit all of our businesses, talk about what SMUD has to offer and what the district has to offer. We're putting up a locate in SMP landing page on our website. Been working with Megan on that. Thank you, Megan. She's been sending us some good stats and information to throw up there, and a digital brochure for brokers as well. But I know that people are, you know, looking forward to the mall and maybe disappointed that nothing has happened yet. But good things are happening at Sunrise Village, at Madison and Sunrise, where the new Joanne opened, and their big renovation. Have a gym and a grocer next year. Have a nail salon, a super duper VIP nail salon in the old Fuddruckers building. You know, the Starbucks and Firehouse Subs, and they're just doing a really great job over there. Some people ask me why Rite Aid looks different. Rite Aid is owned by a separate owner and is not part of that ownership of that center. And that's why it's not been redone with the rest of the shopping center. And yes, they've tried to purchase it. And of course, you know, See's Candy. We'll be going into the old Patelco building, seeing those plans. It's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be a really, really fun building. Obviously, we had Choose Fitness open at Birdcage. Another business is opening in the old Men's Warehouse, and they have someone on track for Steinmart, the old Steinmart building. Citrus Heights Pet Hospital is opening in the old Beachette Deli building on the corner of Fair Oaks and Greenback. So we're looking forward to that. Super nice people. That's right across from our office. Hibachi Sushi opening in the old China Buffet. And we're working closely with Marie Callender's and their broker, Chris Campbell with CBRE, on, you know, looking for tenants for that Marie Callender's as well. And the Pier 39 building just sold, so we're looking forward to being in touch with that new owner, maybe seeing something happen there. It's been closed for a very long time, of course, and so hopefully we'll see some things happening in that building. As you know, we work very closely with lots of community groups, which are in the annual report. I'm just calling out this one, HEART. It's one of the biggest ones that we support. We provide office space, mailing. I do all the insurance tax returns, bookkeeping, meeting storage for them. We sponsor things. So it's a very important group for us. We know that the city is working diligently on a navigator, and we just have our fingers crossed because we cannot do anything without a navigator. We cannot do anything. Cannot do our rental assistance program because we're not the ones out there looking for those people. There's just not much we can do until we get one. And we have money. We are getting the $112,000 in ARPA funding. We just got a $35,000 grant that, quite frankly, we forgot we applied for so long ago, but we're happy about that. So we're looking forward to doing some things, but we do need our navigator. And I'll just throw this out there. If, as a stopgap measure, we need, I would take them on my payroll. I would just have to be made whole if you just couldn't find anyone to contract with. HEART could do it as well. They don't have a payroll infrastructure in place. I could put that in place if that was a more comfortable option. But I just want to offer that in case we just don't get anywhere. But I'm hopeful that we will. Spaghetti Fest is October 20th at the Community Center. So I hope you guys will come out to that and support. That is our main fundraiser of the year for HEART, so I hope you will come out for that. And then just my final thing, priorities for this year obviously are security and maintenance and the murals, the business attraction, our events, and primarily PBID renewal. So everything, just to update you on the timeline, everything must be done by June of next year. So we don't actually have a lot of time to get everything done. So we're working on that now. We're primarily working on data. We have a a new plugin through Salesforce that was created specifically for P-bids. It's called District 360, and we've been uploading and getting our data in there, and they also have a P-bid renewal plugin dashboard that we'll be working with as well to track petitions and ballots that come in. So we're really looking forward to working with Mr. Feeney and having a good partner this time around and having the city be supportive this time around. So we're really looking forward to that, and I think things are going to go really great in that area. And that's all I have. I hope it wasn't too long. Do you have any questions?
Any questions from council? Dana?
Jane, I'll go.
Portia, any questions? Jane?
I'll just start with, thank you for what you do. You made that comment a little earlier about, I don't know what would happen if your system wasn't in place. And so when you think about all those things that you pointed out that are actually negative things, but they're reality, if there was no P-bid, I don't know, again, I mean, I think it would cause us to look so bad because I don't think that they would be addressed in any way near how they're addressed now. So thank you very much for that. You know, earlier, I don't know if you were here for the budget thing, but I believe our number is about 34% that comes from sales tax. And it doesn't all come from the P-bid, but I got to think that the biggest chunk comes from the P-bid. And we have to make sure that that area stays alive, it stays vibrant, it stays a place where people want to come up and spend their dollars. Because if they don't, there won't be a budget surplus sometime soon. So you're directly responsible for the success of Citrus Heights. And I've said it before, you're a jewel of Citrus Heights. And I dread the day when you finally say, that's enough, and I'm going away. So thank you for what you do. The corner there at Fair Oaks and Greenback that you mentioned, is it a pet hospital that's going in? And are they going to take the whole building, including the part that fronts
Yes,
Fair Oaks
and
and
they
Greenback
will
that's been
remain.
empty forever?
Yeah, and they'll have operations still on Auburn, you know, where they are now, where they'll do specific things, specific veterinary services. And then this office, which I've toured, is really high-tech in terms of surgery. They have these decompression rooms for animals that get really anxious. It calms them down, and it separates the cat. They have separate interests for cats and dogs. They're just doing a lot of nice. It's going to really be a great facility. And it should be opening in around August, July, August.
Good, thank you. And then the only thing I'll say, other than what you presented, was I've attended a few board meetings, and I think we do a good job up there, but I think we need to do a better job from sidewalk to sidewalk. And I think that area just needs to pop. You know, when you come into that area, you know, there's some marquee signage at night, there's some lighting, there's some signage, but I think we could do more. And I want people to know they've entered an area that it pops. And so please ask us for more, I guess is the way I'll put it. Okay. The city manager's probably going like, what? But, you know, let us know what needs to be done up there from sidewalk to sidewalk, and hopefully we can just make it that much better.
Thank you.
So I just have a couple of comments. First of all, delighted to hear about Citrus Heights Pet Hospital. They're our vet. I'm starting to feel the need for a payroll deduction for them, just because we spent a lot of money there. But I do have a question about how long do the wraps last that are around the boxes? What are they expected to last? 2, 3 years, 5 years?
Yeah, a long time. Because if you look at them, they look like we just put them up.
Okay, and how long have they been up?
4 years ago, so.
Oh, really? Okay, all right.
Pretty good long lifetime. If we see them begin to fade or tear, then we will replace them.
Okay. So, you know, I know you and I talked quite a lot during when the P-bid was up the last time around. Do you have a sense of, is it the chances of it being successful this time better, worse, the same? What's your feel for? It seems like you're doing an awful lot, and again, I appreciate the fact that you are so hardworking, and really this is a ton of work for you. But I need a sense of what kind of support do you need for this?
You know, last year we had an uphill battle. It was coming off COVID. Nobody knew what was going on. Everyone was scared, so it was very difficult. But I think the fact that, and this is going to help us again, you know, we're offering something very tangible. You know, when you're going around saying, yeah, you know, we do marketing, we do events, and, you know, you're kind of talking to a Lowe's, and they say, well, yeah, we have a $90 billion ad budget. You know, so that can be a little harder sell, but they understand this. They understand it very clearly, and they know the benefit of it. And we have a lot of people on the ground, LPs, store managers, that will evangelize up the chain for us.
Good.
Our challenge always has been that our owners are not here. So you're talking to some asset manager in Cincinnati for Lowe's who has no idea who we are or what we are. So it can be a real heavy lift to explain who we are, and that's where the local manager can be really helpful to say, yeah, look, we really need this. Because they just look at it and say, I've got 1,000 stores, but this one has a $60,000, what is that, assessment. So I don't think it's going to be easy, and that's primarily because NAMDAR will not sign, and and Pennies doesn't sign. And that's, you know, that's close to, that's about $200,000, and that's a difficult number to make up. Honestly, I don't know about Mr. Conrad. I don't have a good enough feel. My interactions with him have been positive, and he seems supportive. I know he was a main player in developing the Arden Arcade P-bid that just came around. He was one of the main owners creating that, so I know he understands P-bids. But it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. We've never not renewed, and we renewed during the 2008 crash. I did not think we were going to make it. So. I think if the debt ceiling becomes an issue and interest rates rise and stocks fall, I think it'll be problematic.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions from council? All right, can I have a motion, please?
Thank you.
I move that we adopt a resolution of the City Council of Citrus Heights approving the Sunrise Marketplace 2022 annual report.
Second.
I have a motion by Daniel, second by Taft. May I call the roll, please?
Councilmember Karpinski Costa?
Yes.
Councilmember Lopez Taft?
Yes.
Councilmember Middleton?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Daniels?
Aye.
And Mayor Schaefer.
Aye. Next item, please.
Next item is regular calendar, item number 12. The subject is the Citrus Heights Education Committee. And the recommendation is to review the ad hoc 2x2 committee's recommended work plan for the Citrus Heights Education Committee and provide direction to staff. Good evening, Mayor and City Council, Amy Van, City Clerk. So just briefly on this item, just to give some background for the benefit of the council and the members of the public. On March 23rd, the City Council did approve the formation of a temporary Citrus Heights Education Committee to evaluate the feasibility of a Citrus Heights school district. The City Council also tasked a City Council 2x2 committee comprised of 2 council members with developing the proposed work plan and timeframe. On April 27th, the proposed work plan and timeframe was presented to council, and as a result of council deliberations, the item did not receive a majority consensus to move forward. Then on May 11th, during items requested by council members, a request was made to bring this item back for City Council consideration. So the proposed Citrus Heights Education Work Plan is, the goal is to examine the feasibility of creating a new Citrus Heights School District, analyze schools within the city boundaries of Citrus Heights, research the steps and process of becoming a school district, provide examples of other similar school district formations, assess the capability of the city to create a school district, assess the budgetary needs and available resources to pursue a school district formation, and then report the progress and recommendations to the City Council. The composition would be a total of 7 members on the committee, 1 member appointed by each council member, and they would not need to reside within the council district, and then 2 at-large members. We have modified the timeline as it was previously presented. If this is approved by council, applications for appointment would be released on May 26th. The applications would be due to the city on June 9th and would be forwarded to the city council for review on June 12th. And then subsequently, on June 22nd, the city council would make those appointments to that committee. And therefore, it would decrease the amount of time that the committee would meet over a 4-month period from July to October. And then with the final presentation, committee recommendation to the city council on November 9th. And these are proposed dates. If the council wishes to modify these, or it could be modified depending on the work plan and schedule of the committee once they begin holding their meetings. So the recommendation is to review and discuss the council 2x2 committee's recommended work plan for the Education Committee and provide direction to staff. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Amy. So any questions or comments from council?
I have a question.
Yes.
And I'm not sure if Amy can answer it or if Mr. Feeney can. What's the budget that you have proposed for the hiring the consultant and all of the meetings?
We would look to bring somebody in probably on an hourly basis to kind of help manage the meetings for the Citrus Heights Education Committee. Not looking to see a budget that would exceed the city manager's signing authority. So we don't have that fully nailed down yet. We've been waiting for direction from city council on this committee before we start talking to a consultant about it. I have a couple in mind that I've spoken to in the past that could definitely handle these.
Well, my question is, what does the committee do different than the consultant? Seems like all the work that you would give to the committee is work that the consultant should do. Are you going to have 7 people looking at the history of attendance at the schools? I mean, it seems to me that's a one-man research project. Well, how do 7 people do that work?
So the way I had really looked at it with the consultants, really for someone that would actually be kind of managing their agenda, running the committee meetings, and then if there's some follow-up research assignments that they could be part of it, but I believe part of the intent would be to have the committee do some of the work, but to your point, the consultant, I would imagine, would have some research assignments that they would need to do coming out of those committee meetings.
Maybe he'll be fast at his hourly rate, or maybe he'll be slow.
Question.
Yes.
Mr. Feeney, what is your signing authority? Could you remind me?
It's up to $50,000.
Okay, so basically a $50,000 budget. Okay, thank you.
I'll just pipe in that, you know, again, I asked to bring this back because had I been here for that council meeting, and again, I apologize for not being able to make that one, this would have passed and we would be moving forward. So I don't think we need to jump through hoops and stuff like that. I think positions were laid out during that previous council meeting, and it would be my desire to go ahead and move forward with the ad hoc 2x2 committee's recommendation.
Okay. So any other comments? Okay, so what I'd like to do in this particular respect, just so that we're not, so that we're very specific as far as who supports this and who doesn't support this, is with regard to the moving forward with the work plan, I'd like to do a roll call vote, please.
We need a second first.
Can we make a motion on that?
Yes, if that's what the council.
Okay, then that'll be my motion, that we move forward with the ad hoc 2x2 committee's recommendation as spelled out in the presentation, including, as the city manager remarked, a consultant that will oversee that.
Have a second? I will second. So can we do a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Karpinski-Costa?
No.
Councilmember Lopez-Taff?
Yes.
Councilmember Middleton?
No.
Vice Mayor Daniels?
Yes.
And Mayor Schaefer?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next item, please.
Next item is department reports, and there are none. The next item is city manager items.
All right. Well, I do have a few updates here. I think one to just start off with is just another acknowledgement of the $12.4 million that was awarded for infrastructure projects here in Citrus Heights. Really proud of the team's efforts on those. As the mayor spoke to earlier, we did a fantastic job as a team, or our team did, rather. I just was supporting the team. But the folks that worked on that did a fantastic job. I heard a lot of accolades about the work that they did, and they really have a knack for putting together some very thorough applications and, you know, brought home the bacon, so to speak. So excited about that, and the community will get to see that in some actual projects that are complete street projects that include biking and sidewalks, but they also include repaved roadways. So really kind of get to some of the infrastructure challenges that we're looking to overcome. So kudos to the team on that. Definitely something to celebrate. And then Memorial Day activities. We've got a couple of activities here in Citrus Heights. The American Legion Citrus Heights Post 637 will be holding their Memorial Day ceremonies at Sylvan Cemetery, and that starts at 11 a.m. I would advise the general public to be there promptly. It seems to start right at 11 a.m. or maybe a few minutes earlier than 11 a.m.
I think it started at 10:30.
Yeah, so it says 10:30, but I mean, you want to be there early. So I think if you were there by 10:30, you're in good shape. There's a procession of veterans. There's also some harmonic singers that sing there as well, and a number of speakers. And it's a great way to honor those that gave all. And then the other event that's going on is there's a free concert performance by the Ben Ali Shriner Band, and that's at the Veterans Community Center, the old Sylvan Schoolhouse on Sylvan. There'll be some concessions there. There's free parking. It starts at 11 a.m. And so that's another great event that'll be happening on Memorial Day as well. And City Hall offices will be closed in observance of Memorial Day, and I'll look forward to seeing council and community at one or both of those events. So
Can I just make a comment there? Is there something that we could do with the on-street parking that people generally wind up parking on Sylvan, and it's really a little concerning if we could put some cones out there or something along those lines where people aren't crossing, that they can cross the street safely, or they can park on Sylvan Road or Sylvan just for the purposes of this particular event. Because last year it was a little, you and I talked about that, it was a little.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things that our General Services Director, Cave, really spearheaded is we talked about those challenges after last year's event, and she was able to, I think he actually knocked on the door of the owner that owns a vacant lot to the north there. And so now there is an agreement that the Veterans Community Center has with that property owner to park on that site. And so it's ready to go for parking. They've got a fence. It's going to be a great solution. So there's no need to cross the street if you park in that parking lot, and I wouldn't advise crossing that street.
Yeah,
so
scary.
Yeah, so we're really happy about that, and kudos to Regina for your hard work on that.
Thank you. All right.
And I've got lastly, there's one more, and this was celebrated earlier in some of the council comments, the Citrus Heights Cares campaign. I know Vice Mayor Daniels, you saw one maybe on the way in today, but these signs are going up. We've got the banners for the Citrus Heights Cares campaign that are being distributed throughout the city, and we actually also have some billboard signs that you can see here that we're adding, and this really kind of gets into kind of the report, maintain, chip in. Certainly it's a big focus of the council, focus of our team to make sure that we're increasing the community vibrancy and community cleanliness. And so this is just kind of highlighting that. And so if somebody's walking down the street and there's a trash can there, maybe you might see this sign and you use the trash can rather than throw it to the side. So You know, I think that probably made a difference for a lot of us growing up seeing Smokey the Bear or what have you. So it's kind of getting at that kind of campaign. And so we're excited to see these deployed and appreciate the team's efforts in getting this done.
Great.
And so
Next item,
the
please.
next item is items requested by council members or future agenda items.
Any future agenda items? I have one, and I'm not quite sure how to put this in perspective, or maybe it's just a study session item, and this is the rabbits in the park. I think that we hear the public comments about them all the time, and I don't, we haven't addressed that specific issue, even though, I mean, we haven't addressed, obviously, we're not addressing the public comment, but I would like the public to know, number one, that we care about the rabbits in the park, that we have taken measures, we have done, there's things that we have done, and I think that I would like to have a discussion about that if one of my other council members chooses to support that.
I will support that.
And we have support from Brett. Thank you, Brett. And we can talk about that more as far as specific stuff goes. So that's all I had. Any other items? All right, very good. Next item is adjournment, correct?
Correct.
I'm going to call this meeting adjourned at 8:15. Thank you. Thanks for everyone for coming.